Good day and welcome back to the Valder Beebe Show. Hopefully you're ready. I have my next guest, Dr. Commodore Mensa, and she's here to talk about, I know, I told you to dread it, hypertension facts, but this is really important. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure, or what is professionally known as hypertension. And she'd like to know, how many of you know it? Dr. Mensa, welcome to the Valder Beebe Show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, this is incredible. With 122.4 million adults in the U.S. over the age of 20 have high blood pressure. Those figures are astounding, Dr. Mensa.
Yes, unfortunately, they are astounding, and it's actually very common. And these are not just numbers, these are our loved ones, our friends, our family members. And that's why I'm so glad we're having this conversation today.
Okay, before we have a conversation, tell us what hypertension is, because like I said, it's got more than one name: high blood pressure, elevated blood pressure, elevated, those kind of things, hypertension. Tell me what hypertension is and what role does it play in cardiovascular disease?
Right, so let's start with the basics. So, hypertension is also known as high blood pressure, and it's a chronic condition in which the blood pressure in your arteries is elevated above the normal range. So, we're talking about hypertension today because it's a significant risk factor for cardiovascular disease, which is the leading cause of death in the US, but also globally. Hypertension is also linked with a higher risk of developing a stroke or heart failure. But we care about this also because over time, high blood pressure can damage the inner lining of your blood vessels, which leads to the formation of what we call plaque, which can narrow or completely block your arteries. And these arteries provide blood and oxygen to your heart and your brain. So this blockage can lead to what? A heart attack or stroke, but also damage your kidneys over time. And that's why it's important to keep blood pressure under control.
Did you say high blood pressure is a leading cause or the leading cause?
It's the number one risk factor for developing cardiovascular disease and stroke, but also damages your kidneys and leads to kidney disease as well. So there are other risk factors for cardiovascular disease, including cholesterol and diabetes, but hypertension is one of the most important of those risk factors.
Okay, let's talk numbers then. When we're getting our blood pressure taken, what is the standard measurement? Because I don't know, did it fluctuate over time? Has it changed? What's the standard measurement for monitoring our blood pressure? And should we be doing this at home?
First, I'll have to note that it's important to know your numbers, all your numbers, including your blood pressure. So, monitoring your blood pressure at home is important for good health, but also preventing some of these complications that we just talked about. So, there are two numbers in the blood pressure reading: the systolic and diastolic blood pressure. The systolic blood pressure is the pressure within your arteries when your heart is beating. The bottom number is the diastolic blood pressure, and it's the pressure within your arteries when your heart is at rest. So a healthy blood pressure is below 120 over 80. Anything at or above that is considered elevated. But to get down with your blood pressure, there are 4 simple steps that will hopefully be easy enough for everyone to remember. So get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. What do we mean? Get a blood pressure device that is validated, slip it on, cuff it, meaning put it around your arm, make sure it fits well, and check it. But most importantly, share those readings with your provider so that you can come up with a plan for improving your blood pressure.
If we want to share these with our provider, are there any lifestyle changes we should be thinking about making if it passes or reaches 120 over 80?
Right. So it's important to acknowledge that blood pressure changes throughout the day. And so if you have hypertension, it's important that you check your blood pressure 2 times in the morning and 2 times in the evening. And when you do check it in the morning, check it before you take your blood pressure medicine or eat or drink coffee or do anything else. But rest for about a minute in between those two readings, but also repeat these steps in the evening. So, apart from checking your numbers, lifestyle changes. So, it's important that in addition to taking your blood pressure medicines as prescribed, there are healthy lifestyle changes that can help to improve your blood pressure, but also prevent the development of hypertension in the first place. So, if you're lucky enough to not be diagnosed with hypertension, there are steps that you can also take to prevent hypertension. They include number one, getting physical activity, so moving more, right? So exercise is medicine and it can be just as powerful as the blood pressure medicines that are prescribed. Number two is eating a healthy diet. So, eating a diet that is lower in sodium. So, reading food labels and understanding what you're consuming, but also eating more fruits and vegetables, but staying away from the saturated fats and the sugars because these foods are linked with a higher risk for developing hypertension. And the last one I have to acknowledge is managing stress. So, life can be very stressful. But we also know that there's a link between stress level and blood pressure level. So managing stress, whether it's meditation, yoga, whatever works for you, but also considering physical activity because it also generally makes you feel better. So apart from the heart health benefits, being more active may also help you to manage stress as well.
This is such an informative interview, but I know that you are a cardiovascular nurse, an epidemiologist, and a really, really smart person, it seems. So thank you for the information. Where can my audience go online and get more information?
For more information, please visit nhci.heart.org to learn more about how you can take control of your blood pressure.
I want to thank you so much for being my guest on the show and helping change lives. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you for having me.
I'm Valder Beebe. I broadcast on radio, streaming TV, podcast, and in print publications. I interview the world's most fascinating authors, all because I love a good book. This summer, I partnered with WPS for Beebe's Summer Book Giveaway. We're giving away New York Times bestsellers and award-winning books. Books that inspire me, and I'm sure they'll inspire you. To be eligible to win a copy of Jesus Can Give You a New Life, answer this question. What is God's greatest gift to mankind? You'll find the answer in John 3:16 of the Bible. Send your response to the email at the bottom of the screen. I'm Valder Beebe, and I'll see you for the next Beebe Summer Book Giveaway.